In this stereographic image, there's a picture of Saturn. If you don't see it, perhaps pause the video until you do. In the double slit experiment, when we fire single electrons through a twin slit apparatus, we detect an interference pattern on the back screen over time. If we take two measurements simultaneously, one at the back screen and one at the twin slits, we get a twin band mark on the back detector. This has led to all kinds of bizarre, freaky ideas and interpretations of the experiment. But think about it logically. Just like the stereographic image of Saturn, we couldn't detect it with one eye. We need two detection devices, two eyes, which tells us that it's simply a matter of the focus being adjusted in the experiment. And what the statistical inequality in these two measurements, which I located and explained in other videos, tells us that it must be wave crests hitting the back screen. That the wave function is actually describing a physical wave, which detected in one dimension gives the illusion of a particle. And there are two experiments where we can explore this further, that it is actually a wave, always a spherical wave propagating out. One, the simplest, is where we fire single photons or single electrons in a vacuum to detectors placed not at the front but to the side of the particle gun. The second is by filming a slow, heavy quantum object, like say a buckyball, and filming it from multiple different directions simultaneously. If it is successful, it will mean we'll have to rewrite everything we thought we knew about physics, and it will lead to unlimited energy and multiplying matter, which leads to another problem. Getting it to the public might lead to the same issues which Tesla is said to have faced with what he claimed was unlimited energy technology. Getting it to the public before control-obsessed, violent, corporate military powers stop it. If anyone has the capacity to run either, I encourage you to do it as soon as possible, and be careful who you share the findings with. I ask that you contact me if or when you do. And in case anyone thinks I'm being paranoid, here's 3 stories which you may or may not have missed. One is from the University of Bangalore in India in association with the Indian Space Agency, who made observations of stellar redshift where they speed up and slow down, which is in complete contrast and conflict with the Big Bang. The peer-reviewed research papers were refused listing on ArXiv, which is probably the biggest archive of Big Bang scientific papers. And there has been a blanket censorship preventing it from being discussed in any scientific media in the West. Plus, many Indian newspaper reports on the research have been taken down. I found one which I'll link in the description. Plus 2 massive African breakthroughs in technology which have gone almost unreported in Western media. One from a pair of extremely poor Kenyans who, shifting through scrap metal, developed a prosthetic arm which is moved by thoughts. Another from a Zimbabwean scientist who invented a car which runs on nothing but radio waves, which is exactly what Tesla said he had invented over 70 years ago, before all his research papers were stolen, and he was put on house arrest. The African scientist seemingly didn't go through the industrial military banking complex peer review process, they just went ahead and built it themselves.